making the third tape like a part of a trilogy and combining like Son of a Sinner and Libertad, you know how Libertad is freedom, and calling the third tape Free Sins. Faces getting familiar in the flow known well. About to drop my second. What happened? I stayed trapping. Get cuffed, follow tradition, come home cracking, but instead I was packing. His grandma didn't play with home. Found empties packed to the brim and told me hit the road. There you go right there. Known for the heat, who gon' fire us? Hove mode, I'm tryna hire your higher ups. Stay I thank God that I'm broke free. Started pointing fingers once they notice they can't hold me, they hold me. We charge it to the gang though. Depending on the L, could be an angel or an angle. Take most become bosses when we sing. I wrote this sweater. Niggas thinking I fell off. My second tape is coming, I swear that I'm doing well, dog. Took a break for a minute. My foot about to let off. Slinging the type of dick and make your bitch go right and tell off. Back to business. How these niggas is getting at me, but forgot to mention when the city had started singing, brought it back and spitting. Y'all was pouring them green bottles, I was really sipping. I'm just moving different from way from
Smoking all the blood to the payphone. Your OG probably never stuck a hanging in the payphone. So like back in the day when I was younger, like I didn't do it, but when I was younger, like the older niggas on the block would rob the payphone because niggas was still and they yank this shit out and rob. But like little niggas nowadays I never know because niggas don't even use payphones no more. But they looking up to their OGs thinking like, yo, oh that's my big homie. It's like, yo, the nigga you call big homie ain't even stuck and hanging a payphone yet. You know what I'm saying? And only older niggas will respect that shit that actually was there. But like, damn, that nigga talking that shit. It's just like that window of like, the shit I've been through. It's like, bro, you wasting your time. You know what I'm saying? Which is why I write the lines that I've seen and it can apply to the people around me. That a lot of people may not understand, but it's fine because like I know the people that understand it. On the new tape, I got this one line where it's like, it feel like yesterday we was out there on them corners. Now homie risking it, leaving his daughter to cross the border. Oh no, it was like my man got deported. He was known for moving boulders. It feel like yesterday, out there on them corners, now homie risking leaving his daughter to cross the border. Like, my man that I was outside getting money with really got deported. And now, like, he really be like, trying to cross the border back, leaving his daughter behind, getting locked up in Arizona. And then got to do 3 months just to go back to Mexico.
Like, try to do the same thing
over and over again. And when somebody hear that, they won't understand it. But when I go back to my neighborhood and I say that shit, they know exactly who I'm talking about.
What?
You know what I mean? And you get that. Like I was out there and we was all huddled up, and I don't really be out there too much. But when I'm back out there, it's love. And I spit that verse, and once I spit that shit, everybody was like you get the eyebrows raised, like damn. It's like I know y'all thinking about it, but I don't forget it. You know what I mean? I'm gonna put it in my story when I tell it. So like just seeing the reaction of it, like damn, it's just a harsh reality of what we've been through as a group of children coming up.
And what's the difference between like this project? I remember you was telling me it's more of a like we celebrating more than focusing like on pain or something like that. We more looking for like the future.
There's more celebratory records for this one. The title of it is called Libertad, which is liberty in Spanish. And we came off with Son of a Sinner, which was basically a lot of the struggle that I went through and saw around me. So it was like kind of getting that off of your chest, that, you know what I mean, that moment off of your chest. So with this one, we just wanted to focus on the progress that we made after the mixtape and where we plan on going and how we felt at the moment, which is why we feel as though we kind of got freed up from all the shit we were holding on to. You know what I mean? All the baggage and like the fucked up upbringing and shit like that. So it's like now we just moving in a new direction of growth. You know?
Jay and our relationship is very different. All right, that's my twin. That's my other half. I call him my right leg. He's my right hand. Like we both we both take this music thing a whole different aspect. All right, people always ask me like, "Yo, are you his manager? Are you his manager? What's up with the management?" I tell them, you know, for title purposes, yes. You know, on paper, I'm manager. I'm the person who kind of helps sign, make sure that the transactions are complete, make sure that he's where he needs to be, wardrobe tight, camera crew ready, audio engineers tight, we ready with any type of advertisement, ready to book the next shows. I handle all that. But it's way different, man, and it goes way personal. That's my brother, you know, that's my twin at the end of the day. If I was Puerto Rican and shorter, I would look like that. There's a possibility that if he was black, he'd have dreads too. We always go back and forth with that one. He don't really get down with the dreads part. But stay tuned, he might end up growing them, who knows, man. But nah, the whole management thing, it's a whole different thing. We don't come at it with a title. It's not about the titles. We come at it from a family perspective, and we just try to make sure at the end of the day, the family right. Everybody at the table eating, everybody at the table taken care of, and at the end of the day, the listeners are gonna be the one who wins.
So do you think it's a spot for this project in you know, in the scene right now? Like when you thinking about it, like what do you think it's gonna fall at?
I think it definitely deserves a spot. I think I could play ball in the game right now, if that makes any sense. Like I don't really feel as though there's much room for me to. Of course, there's always room to grow, but I feel as though like my pen is like sharp enough.
Well, you got other artists too. You got like you know, like Pusha dropped his.
Yeah.
That's not a party album. That's all content driven, you know, music.
Yeah.
And you got J-Rock, similar.
Yeah.
All solid content driven stuff. Even with, you know, Kendrick's and the Coles. So it's definitely a space out there to live in that. You know what I mean? I think you making that type of music.
Yeah.
I think it's harder to, you know, it's a slower pace on that side.
Definitely.
But they seem to last longer, opposed to you just having that hot single and then you everywhere, and then you got to force yourself to come out with some, you know, like a whack project.
And which is why when people ask like, how are you not on yet? That's the thing I keep in mind. Like I know the path that we're taking.
Right.
Where it's like you laying down cement rather than nailing wood. You know what I mean? So it's like it's gonna take longer, yeah, but you'll be able to stand on it for longer.
What brought you onto the team?
So I would say the bridge was Edwin, right? Yeah. Edwin's a huge part, a huge factor to all of us connecting. Actually, he's not here, but shout out to Edwin, Etho. Huge bridge for all of us. You know, he basically came up. I met Edwin from work, came up to me, said, I got this dude that I know raps. He knows I did the music thing on the side. I'm like, sure, bring him through. You know what I mean? After that, it was just over from there. He came one night with Digne, came with Edwin, a couple of the guys. It was funny because it was the first night. They want to know. The first night was interesting because I was living in a small one-bedroom apartment, and it was basically as soon as you walk in, boom, that's my living room. If you look to the left, what was supposed to be my dining room was a little studio. Turned that out, made it work. We had the bathroom right behind that, so we used that to record as a booth. But they want to know, we had probably, we packed it like Mexicans in there, you know what I mean? Look what we are. It looked like basically 20 people in one crowded room, and for this man to bring the vibe that he brought, like, is unbelievable, because not all of us knew each other, I would say. And it was just, the connection was there right off the get. And once I seen that, it's like, I gotta hold on to that, because that's what I'm trying, you know, they say positive vibes bring positive outcomes, so you wanna surround yourself with that. And from there it took off. Basically, he asked for everybody's participation to get a little crowd hook going, and They Want to Know just came, so it was crazy. It was
the single for Son of a Sinner.
Yeah. First session was the first single, and it took off from there. And since then, we just been pushing forward, and we planned.
So yeah, we could talk about the first, like how you gonna set it up. So we could talk about the first single that you was gonna drop, the more up tempo joint, and then go into the next one and kind of paint a picture for them.
So the first single is Maury's Show.
Okay.
Maury's Show was like, Dave from the other studio, he sent me like an email with a few beats, and I was riding in the car, and for a instrumental to click, like I really gotta, it'd be like the first 5 seconds sometimes.
Either it's good or
Yeah,
pass,
like
right.
And then when it click, I just feel it, and it's just flowing, like it just comes, like it's not that much thought.
Right.
So I was riding in the car, and I was going through the beats, and I played one, I didn't really fuck with it. Played another one, I didn't really fuck with it, and then I played that instrumental, the Maury Show instrumental. The moment it dropped, I just started thinking and shit. And I actually thought of the hook first. And it's hard as hell for me to think of hooks.
All right, usually the other way.
I write you 60 bars before I think of a hook. So I thought of the hook, and then I started thinking of the verse. So like before I got home and parked, I just called Dave. I'm like, yeah, because that shit was like a minute long.
Oh,
it was
like
just like
short.
an idea
Okay.
he had. He ain't even finished this shit out. So I called him and I'm like, don't play that for nobody.
Right.
He like, it ain't even done yet. I'm like, yeah, I know, but just don't play that shit for nobody. So fast forward, I got a couple of other records done on like the guys' beats over here, and we set up a session by Dave. That way we could all be together. Then we started piecing together Maury Show. So as I was writing the verse, I'm in my head like I want to give bars, but at the same time I'm thinking in the celebratory phase. So I'm like, yo, I gotta make it fun. So then there's a part where I'm like,
My story since a shorty sipping 40s, getting naughty, watching Maury.
So before I thought of the watching Maury part, I just had the flow like, you are not the father, homie.
Right.
So I knew I just had to say that. So then that just turned into like me flowing with that, and then the hook just compiled together. And when we was in the studio, we found the clip that actually said Isaiah from the Maury Show, and then just pieced it together, and then it just makes sense. And to me, it's a wild, fun record.
Right.
You know what I mean? From top to bottom.
We just sending prayers up. Can tell me what I can't do now. Come alive when the sun come down. Middle fingers up. If you never really give a fuck, and it is what it's gonna be now. Sending prayers up. Can tell me what I can't do now. Come alive when the sun come down. Middle fingers up. If you never really give a fuck, and it is what it's gonna be now. Cause I've been grinding, been working my whole life for this. Perfect timing, cause boy I'm back on my shit. I've been grinding, been working my whole life for this. Perfect timing, cause boy I'm back on my shit. And I need nothing around y'all, good with the same circle around dog. Never been out of shape but you out of date. Outdating you well and I'd rather follow fate. And I can feel it on my fingertips, still penny pitching. Got no time for the intermissions while in the mission. You know they missed them to my city that I'm back now. Between hundreds and fifties and looking to these shit, I'm looking like a cash cow. Fuck what you think, rather sip on the drink. Broke nigga with 2 cents, leave that shit in the bank.
My name's Kareem Cole, from Jersey, Franklin area. So my role on the team is basically producer / cameraman. Just help with the visuals, help with the production and everything. Other than that, everybody just kind of learn from each other, honestly. We just try to build off each other, help everybody in every part, you know what I'm saying? I learned some mastering from George. I learned some management from Mills. I learned some verses from Isaiah. And my boy Dean, he not here right now, but he's another person that helps with the production and everything. Oh, you gotta do that over. You gotta do that. Nigga Dean walked in, I said Dean not here right now.
What's going on, everybody? I'm Dean Ye, engineer, producer, part of the squad 449. At this point, it's really just Isaiah. It started out as 449 back in William Patterson. That was in 2012, and we all kind of just got together. My roommate in college was friends with Isaiah at the time, and then we all linked up. He told me he did music, told him to spit some bars for me, he did, and I liked what he had to say. At the time, I was studying exercise science. He told me he needed somebody to help him record and just kind of stick with him with the music thing. So
I took the challenge and I started doing it with him, started engineering him, producing, and it's been going good so far.
And then the second single we got is Limitations. So piecing together Limitations, I had started it off. Of course, it was influenced. All the music is influenced by like real life situations.
Right.
So it starts off me explaining how I'm dealing with someone, but she like really belongs to someone else, and I'm just entertaining it for the record.
I could tell she been wanting to leave him. Blinded by love, got her looking for freedom. Heart in the cup, emotions are bleeding. She was deleting misses, but she quit to mislead him. And now she open in my bed, and I'm telling her to feed me. Needed her to need me. Baby, leave me be or believe me. Just don't wait until a nigga on the TV. I write her records that'll bring her back. She want love with no strings attached. I just tie her up. You fucking with the boss, ain't no higher up. We an even match. Cause I'm a hero, she my heroine. Dope chick, no shit, no one better than. I fiend for it, got the tracks for the evidence. Slim waist, but
And it's on a slow beat, so like I'm more so like I like the attack instrumental, so like that wasn't even in like my forte of doing. But that comes from my circle too. They're not always yes men. They're always like, yo, you need to think out the box. You gotta start trying to do it different. Like, we understand you can rap, Jay.
Right.
The homies. We get it, you can rap, Jay. What else could you do?
Right.
And that pressure from them is like really essentially what the world is gonna be putting on me later on.
The same thing.
So I try Limitations, and then I ain't even like, I usually, when I get a hot verse, when I get some fire shit, I'm calling George on the phone, I'm calling Mills on the phone, I'm sending voice notes like, bars, like, This shit, I ain't say shit to nobody.
Right.
I just pulled up to the stew one time, we was in George crib, right? And his lady was still pregnant.
Okay.
So I'm like, yo, I got this record, and it's already getting late. We done knocked out, what was that? Not Comfortable in My Own Skin? Nah. What's the one, Don't Change to the Same. Boom. So we knocked out some shit that wasn't even in my plans. I just pulled up. He just finished making the beat, George. And I was just sitting there. I'm like, fuck it, I'm here, let me try. And that's another one we play later that's like out the box.
Right.
So then after we finish that, we go on to Limitations. So I'm like, yo, I got this idea, but like I gotta deliver it different. And he like, all right. So like I sat on a stool and I'm like, I could tell she was wanting to leave.
So you setting the mood.
Yeah, like, you know what I mean? But after we laid them and we did the tracks, now mind you, during recording it, his lady is like feeling contractions, like she thinks she about to give birth. So I'm in my head like, please just let us knock this shit out.
Get it out the way.
But I ain't about to say that shit out loud. So I'm like, yo, Jay, just one more track and we almost good, son. He getting up, pacing back and forth, there's so much shit going on. And she just like, no, I'm fine. Just trying not to be in the way, but it's really like, that's more important at the end of the day.
Definitely, yeah.
So we knock it out. He mixed it down, and he mixing it down, and it's sounding great, like, cause it's a different sound for my voice. What he was doing was like using different effects and filters on it, so this shit came out crazy. But we didn't have a hook, and I ain't about to sing no hook.
Right.
Like, we thinking out the box, but we ain't thinking.
You ain't going that far.
So I'm like, all right, let me make a phone call to some lady, and then put it on the record. So I call, they pick up, and she has no clue she's getting recorded. So like, hey, what you think would happen if we would have worked out? And then she goes on and talking. So the conversation gets.
Y'all recording it. Like,
yeah,
oh, okay.
In the studio. So then the conversation got to the point where I mentioned like me performing at the Prudential Center, and her being like, "Oh my God, get out of here!" Like, blah, 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 blah. So me knowing that we recording this shit, she has no idea. I'm like, "Your pussy wet or nah?" So like that shit makes the record fun too. Like, shows you the freedom we were just having while in the studio recording, front to back, and it's all just like genuine intent, like, you know what I mean? Not trying to expose her.
Right.
She heard the record. Of course, she loved the record.
She agreed.
You know what I mean?
You get a couple thousand followers, niggas start calling you big bro.
That's it. Hey, yo, big bro, you can help me out with this?
Or even like niggas with like a couple chains and like, you know what I mean?
That's
They
big
like,
bro.
yeah,
He
that's
got
big
it.
bro.
He got it.
It's like, nah. I always refer to this shit like I come from a time
where if my older brother heard me like daily talking about another man, and how much I didn't like him or how soft he was, he would get tired of hearing me say that shit and just walk me over to whatever block he was from.
Right.
All right, bro, we gonna get this shit over. You know what I mean? Let alone me be on camera every day, flashing a gun or something. Like, I couldn't even picture like doing